If you had told me 20 years ago that I would be living in Kansas, married to a vegetarian, and earning my living as a motivational speaker, I would have told you to have your head examined. Those changes come, and those changes go. And you know it because you're going through it right now. Those changes come and go, and if you're not careful, it's very easy to get confused. One of the things I've learned in those 20 years is that some of life's greatest joys are found in the most unexpected places. And so I think one of the keys is to remain open to the possibilities. Most human beings are not hardwired to do that. So I think when you find somebody who's figured it out, it's worthwhile to tell their story. She did some other things to make her goals visible. She started to carry around a gym bag, and on the bag she collected Olympic pins. Pins from all the Olympics that happened before the one she wants to go to. This one over here, 1980, United States and Soviet Union. Hockey! The Russians always beat us, the Russians always beat us, the Russians always beat us. But then they had the Olympics in Lake Placid, New York. Local people, they start showing up, they start going to the hockey games, they're chanting USA, USA, USA. These guys weren't even good, but USA, USA. Early in the thing, guy knocks a puck into the net in Czechoslovakia, USA. And by the end of the week, Al Michaels on television said, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes! And he talked about 3 different types of leaders. He picked up a glass of water and he took an aspirin. He said, there are some leaders that are like this aspirin, and he stuck it in the cup. He said, see what happens with this aspirin? It kind of drops to the bottom, it kind of falls apart, kind of does nothing. There are a lot of leaders like that. He said, some leaders are like this bromo-seltzer. Watch what happens with bromo-seltzer. He put the bromo-seltzer in the water. Some leaders are like this Alka-Seltzer. Watch what happens with this Alka-Seltzer. He puts it in the water. He said, see, it goes to work slow and steady and enthusiastically and energetically, and there's all kinds of excitement. Comes out of the 3rd turn, his head pops up. Water rushes over his head. He chokes in some water. And the whole audience is kind of sitting for it like, but he gets it back together, slow and steady. Comes into those backstroke flags, and he touches with both his hands at the same time. And I wish you could have been there to see it as the place just exploded. So the story of how the book came to be is actually kind of funny. A couple of years ago, got invited to give a graduation speech in Bangor, Maine. So I fly out to Bangor, I get all settled, and I was invited to go to a reception, a party at the home of the senior class president. And so I go to this party, I introduce myself to a teacher, and he puts his hand out and he says to me, "Oh, so you're the guy that nobody wanted to come to this." And I was like, "What?" So he goes on to explain that the senior class government wanted to have a graduation speaker. The senior class didn't want to have a graduation speaker. So the senior class, the student council, they had a vote. They took a poll of the whole student body, and the student body voted not to have a graduation speaker. So the student council president, in his infinite wisdom, along with the advisor and the principal, they decided to overrule the senior class and hired me. And the teacher tells me this whole story, and as he's shaking my hands, he says, "Nothing like graduation to teach some kids about fascism." So I'm sitting on the stage and I just started scribbling furiously on this napkin, and this little poem sort of came to me. And then I met this incredible artist, this incredible fiber artist, Dottie Moore from Rock Hill, South Carolina, and it's just been an amazing collaboration. There's a timeless quote that everybody has heard 1,000 times. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. There's a guy by the name of Bill Shore who's the founder of an organization called Mission Fish, and he had a variation on that quote that I really like. It's what do social entrepreneurs do? They build fisheries, and everybody eats and more people have jobs. And so what was really appealing to me the first time I heard that term social entrepreneurship was to ask myself, would it be possible to teach student leaders how to be social entrepreneurs? And that's what we're trying to do with Keep It. Question, show of hands. Is attitude important? How many of you think attitude is important? Raise your hand. You're wrong. Okay, this is the strangest motivational speech I've ever seen. It's a trick question. Attitude's not important, it's essential. You talk to anybody who's successful in life, and they will tell you if you don't have the right attitude, it will not happen for you. But attitude is one component. Vision is another component. Courage, hard work, persistence, components. And they weave together to form what we call a complete, well-rounded human being.